The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com.
Since 1935, one event has brought us together for the passion, the pageantry, and the celebration of the upper echelon of college football. The Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. New Year's Eve at noon. Don't miss El Paso's greatest game.
What's going on, everybody? It is time for the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on this, what is today? Tuesday. Still getting used to the days and times and stuff like that. The holiday season always messes you up with the calendar, but it is a Tuesday. We're hanging out here with y'all on the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton. Hopefully, you are having yourself a fantastic Tuesday, getting ready for all the bowl games and stuff like that are supposed to happen over the next couple of days. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact, you saw in the commercial, the Sun Bowl game where Duke is going to be taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. So that's going to be a fun game. Hopefully we'll get to see you all out there. If you are out there, let me know. Let's see how it goes out there with everybody. I'm just checking all of our accounts to make sure we are still good to go, that we aren't missing on anything. And it does look like we're good. It does look like we're good. There we go. Finally looking good on all the different social media platforms, whether you're watching us on YouTube, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, the various places that you are getting the Tipping Point with my Tipton. Thank you so much for tuning into the show there. Now, yesterday, something interesting happened in the NFL, and it was the Atlanta Falcons defeating the LA Rams. And I walked into yesterday's game thinking to myself, the LA Rams are without a doubt one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFC. And it also goes to show you the importance of Devontae Adams. Now, I get it. Devontae Adams wasn't in this game. Devontae Adams was hurt. Whatever it is that's going on, Devontae Adams just wasn't there, right? Like you can't rely on that one guy. That one guy. You got to be better than that. And you would think to yourself, okay, maybe you don't necessarily need to rely on Devontae Adams the way that the LA Rams have relied on Devontae Adams over the last couple of, I guess the last year, right? Just the last year that they've relied so heavily on Devontae Adams. And you sit there and you got to say to yourself, okay, if this is what this team looks like against the Atlanta Falcons, who are a halfway decent team, right? Like not great, not terrible. They're just bleh. Whatever the Atlanta Falcons are, they're just bleh. Nothing to really be excited about, nothing to be disappointed about. They're just a middle of the road type team. But if you're the LA Rams and you have a shot at, kind of solidifying who you are going into the postseason, you should dominate, absolutely dominate the LA Rams. Yet they weren't able to. Yet they were suffering. They were struggling the entire time against the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta ultimately wins the game, able to just run on the Rams defense all game long. Now that is going to be a huge issue for the LA Rams moving forward, right? Are the Rams able to do what they need to do in order to solidify themselves as one of the best teams in the NFL, a team that you can actually trust in the NFL? Are the Rams going to be able to do that? And it really feels like the answer to that is simply no, right? Like just there's not really any way that you can sit there and say, okay, I trust this Rams team. Maybe it's just me being disappointed, right? Maybe it's because I was wrong about this team that I'm hitting them with a little more vitriol than I normally would or than I normally should for a loss like this. But it looks bad, right? Like it really looks bad. And you think about the teams that are in the playoffs in the NFC, and let's bring up the old ESPN chat over here so that we can see who's still in the hunt in the playoffs. Right? I want to make sure I get these teams right. Definitely know that it's not our Dallas Cowboys. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan out there like myself, we definitely know it's not the Dallas Cowboys. So in the NFC, you have Seattle, you have Chicago, you have the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Carolina Panthers. Those are your division leaders as of right now. There's still a small possibility that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can sneak into the playoffs with an 8-9 record by beating the Carolina Panthers. There's the possibility that the representative of the NFC South is an 8-win team. Bones 187 saying, hi, what's up, Bones? Hope you're having a good day. We are talking about the NFL playoffs right now. The teams that are still available that are out there, or the teams that have solidified their spot so far in the playoffs. Only two teams vying for a spot this weekend, and it's the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Those are the only two teams. Everyone else pretty much solidified on where they're going to be in the playoffs. You got the Packers, the Rams, and the 49ers as your wild card teams right now. But those teams all have one thing in common outside of the LA Rams, who, once again, I thought the LA Rams were going to be the best team in the playoffs just a couple of weeks ago. The LA Rams are going to have a problem because all the teams that we mentioned, Seattle, Chicago, Philadelphia, Carolina, San Francisco, Green Bay, are all run-heavy teams. Super run-heavy teams. Bones saying, I don't watch the NFL. Hey, it's all good. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate the comments. It's all good. No worries at all. What sport do you watch, if you do watch sports? I don't know. I don't want to assume that people are out there watching sports the way that I do. All those teams are going to be run-heavy teams, especially when you look at teams like Philadelphia, the upper echelon of what we've got so far in the NFL. the Chicago Bears, the Seattle Seahawks. That's what's made Seattle so good. They can run the ball. San Francisco, Christian McCaffrey, arguably the best running back in the NFL still, kind of. I think you mix that up with Saquon Barkley, a couple of other people, but still upper echelon run games that are available in the playoffs right now. And if your Achilles heel, as the LA Rams is, we just allow everybody to run on us. If we don't get a lead and force teams to be one-dimensional, we're kind of suspect, right? Our dude Tommy Cananza tuning in saying, what's up, Tip? What's up, Tommy? Hope that you're having a great day, my friend. We are talking about the disappointment that is the LA Rams. I know that they didn't have Devontae Adams yesterday. I know that they didn't have, a couple of other players. There's injuries. They're doing this and that. They're holding out Devontae Adams because they're like, hey, why bring him into this game? That doesn't necessarily mean anything. But even without Devontae Adams, they should have been able to beat the Atlanta Falcons, right? Like they should have just been able to beat the brakes off the Atlanta Falcons. But I guess that's the reason why they play the games, right? Like whatever you got on paper ain't necessarily the truth. The LA Rams, to me, again, I look at these teams that are in the NFC. Seattle, Chicago, Philadelphia, Carolina, San Francisco, Green Bay, maybe Tampa Bay. And other than Philadelphia, I can't think of another team that you can say, man, I can see that team making a deep playoff run. Maybe Seattle, right? Also, just weird shout out to Sam Darnold. He joins a small, absolutely tiny list of quarterbacks that won 13 games in back-to-back seasons. I know it's Tom Brady, it's Peyton Manning, it's Aaron Rodgers, and Sam Darnold on this list. I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Let's look it up. Let's look it up. We're looking it up. Brett Favre. Brett Favre was the other one. When Sam Darnold is on this list of quarterbacks that have won 13 games in back-to-back seasons, and I get it, wins are not a quarterback stat. They should never be considered a quarterback stat, but you really have to think about what the most important position in sports is, and it is always going to be the quarterback. So Sam Darnold being able to put together back-to-back 13-win seasons should show you something. It should open your eyes to something. Maybe there's a little something there with the Seattle Seahawks. And you look at the way that they've been playing and juxtapose that with the way the LA Rams have been playing. And I've been steadfast in this. The Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC. The Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC. Matt Stafford, an MVP kind of guy. I feel like I'm wrong now, right? Like I feel like the Rams are starting to kind of revert back a little bit. Once they get Devontae Adams back, they've got nothing to play for. They're already in the playoffs. Just rest everybody next week, right? The only game that really matters, I guess there's two, are going to be the Panthers and the Buccaneers, and then, of course, the Ravens and the Steelers. You could watch Jaguars-Titans, because if the Titans win that game by some miracle, the Jaguars lose the division, Houston wins that division. Maybe the Titans go out there and surprise us all. Likelihood of that happening, very slim. Very, very slim. But let's look at that. Do we trust the LA Rams the same way we would trust the Philadelphia Eagles? I know, Tommy, you hate the Eagles, so this might not be the question to bring up to you. But do we trust the LA Rams as much as we would trust the Philadelphia Eagles to represent the NFC right now? Philadelphia getting a little hotter. I know they got the same record. Someone's going to tell me out there, Tip, they got the exact same record. Sure. Right? Sure. But one team's 11-5 looks better than the other team's 11-5, especially as we get into the playoffs. You want to be hot entering the playoffs. You don't want to be cold. To say that I was disappointed by the LA Rams yesterday would be an understatement. And it didn't have, and this is the thing, right? Like, as far as fantasy football goes, I needed Drake London to get himself a game. So I wanted the Rams to lose that game. It just, it didn't seem as competitive as it should have been, right? I think they were talking about it on the broadcast. The Falcons were up 21-0 at one point. The fact that the Rams made it a game should be embarrassing to the LA Rams. You should look at your team and be like, wow, they're just not good. Like, they're not looking good at this moment. This is the way that I would look at it if I was an LA Rams fan. But again, maybe it's because I'm a jerk. There's always that possibility of me just being an absolute jerk. I got no problem with that. Looking out there to make sure stuff is working the way that it should. I don't know if it is working right now or not. Someone's going to have to help me out. Oh, well. If it's not working on Instagram, it's not working on Instagram. No big deal. No big deal at all. Tommy's saying, I don't trust a team that wins games scoring 16 points. Defenses can and will have bad days. Playoff teams usually score points, giving the middle finger to the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm with you on that. My guy Jay Hood saying it is. Keep going. Hoodie, I got a message. That's why. Like, someone sent me a message like, hey, it ain't working over here. But hey, it's working. I can see numbers. I keep seeing a bunch of other stuff. We're good with that. Hoodie, I want to get your opinion on your Chicago Bears. As a matter of fact, no pressure whatsoever. I'm going to put the link in here. So if you have the time, I'd like to see if you could join us here and talk about your Chicago Bears, because no one's going to be able to talk about the Bears better than you, my friend. No one's going to be able to do it better than you. I told a bunch of people, as many people that would listen, that the Bears would be a playoff team. I didn't see them being the division champion, but here we are. And I am excited about the proposition of this team being the division champion right now. Because this is what the NFL wants, right? Like, this is what fans want. We want to see parity. We don't want to see the same teams over and over and over again. That's what makes the AFC so interesting right now, right? Like you don't have the Chiefs in there. There's the possibility, we'll see what happens this weekend, of not having the Ravens in there. So, I mean, you're more than likely going to get somebody new like Philadelphia. Tommy says again, right? Like, their offense, not great. But again, we know defense wins championships, baby. Philadelphia, all you got to do is outscore everyone. Like, if Philadelphia's defense is holding people to 12 points, you score 13 points, you won the game, right? Like, that's kind of the way that it works. Defense wins championships, especially in the playoffs. Hoodie saying, I'll answer from here, just pulled over. The Bears have as good of a chance as most in the NFC. It's been a weird season. It 100% has been, right? But at first I didn't like it, but now I'm kind of enjoying this. Because you have, I feel like we just got the same teams over and over and over, and now we're not getting those teams anymore. Someone on YouTube saying, bro, why is your right left? This is my left. I don't know. Whatever. It has been a weird season. I've enjoyed this season 100%. It's been fun to see, right? Like, you're getting the parity that the NFL wants. The Jaguars being in the playoffs, right? The Broncos. Everyone thought the Broncos were a couple of years away from being a contender. The same thing with the Patriots. They thought they were a few years away from being a contender. You bring in Pittsburgh. Okay, I guess Pittsburgh's always there, right? Mike Tomlin never has a losing season. Not going to have a losing season this year, no matter what happens this weekend. I do love the chaos, though, the potential chaos of the Philadelphia Eagles, or of the Pittsburgh Steelers, rather, making a deep playoff run and actually winning the Super Bowl. And anyone that knows me knows I hate the Pittsburgh Steelers. I grew up in the 90s. The rivalry between the Cowboys and the Steelers, I guess it was a thing. I just do not like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to inflict as much pain on them as possible. But I also feel like you shut a bunch of people up because I like Mike Tomlin as a coach. I don't understand where the hate towards Mike Tomlin comes from. So if there's a way that we can keep Mike Tomlin doing his thing, keep him in Pittsburgh, and that fan base just keeps getting angrier and angrier each time, man, that makes me happy. That makes me a happy guy. I'm fine with it. Tommy Canazza saying, score more than 20 points and you beat Philadelphia. I think that's the thing, right? Like, again, I feel like the NFC is wide open, just absolutely wide open. There's not one team that you can say is the cream of the crop in the NFC. Because you're only as good as what we remember, right? And even though Seattle is 13-3 and more than likely going to win the NFC or have the number one seed, yeah, I mean, they've already got it locked up. The number one seed in the NFC. We all remember what we saw Sam Darnold do in the playoffs last year with a, 14 win? Was it 14 wins? I believe it was. A 14-win Minnesota Vikings team. I get it. JSN is a cheat code. I really like Seattle's offense. But the question for me all year has been Sam Darnold. We've got to see it from Sam Darnold, right? We've got to see Sam Darnold actually win a game in the playoffs, which, again, is wild to think that Sam Darnold back-to-back 13-win seasons. But you don't trust Seattle. You don't think that they're so much better than everyone else. It's a weird year. The Chicago Bears could be the team. You feel like if Green Bay gets right, you wouldn't be surprised if you saw Green Bay wind up winning the NFC, right? You could make a case for any of these teams right now that they could win the NFC, except for maybe the Panthers and the Buccaneers. I'm still not sold on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Carolina Panthers. Great season for them. Make the playoffs. Do your thing. I am not drinking the Kool-Aid. I am not buying into it right now. I don't think there's really anything that those teams have done this year that make you think, okay, yeah, they're good, right? Carolina, best case scenario, they're 9-8. Worst case scenario, you get an 8-9 team in the playoffs right now, which is just funny to me. Because you have the Dallas Cowboys, the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings as teams that are going to have a better record if they win this weekend than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yet the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or even the Carolina Panthers would wind up making it to the playoffs. That's just so asinine. I get it. You win your division. You do your thing. I've always been that guy of you got to win the division. You got to win the games that are ahead of you. But does it really feel like the NFC South should have a representative? Like they've earned having a representative in the playoffs? The older I get, the more I'm starting to like move over to that thought process of, man, this team ain't good enough. This team ain't good enough to deserve to be in the playoffs. But it is what it is. Whatever team out of the NFC South is going to make the playoffs, good for them. Not good enough to really be there. Same thing with the NFC North or the AFC North. Pittsburgh, once again, I want the chaos of it. I just don't see it happening, of the Pittsburgh Steelers getting a deep run into the playoffs. Baltimore, as much as I love Lamar Jackson, it just feels like this is one of those lost years, right? It really feels like it's one of those lost years. nobody you can say right now, I guess, other than Buffalo. And we mentioned this yesterday on yesterday's show. Buffalo would be the only team that you could say they have pressure to perform. Everyone else is playing with house money. Everyone else is playing with house money. Because you're kind of like Denver, you didn't think was going to be there. New England, you didn't think. Jacksonville, who the hell, other than this guy, thought Jacksonville was going to win their division. Still haven't won it yet, but there's an outside chance. The Texans are there. The Steelers are there. And actually, now that I'm looking at it right now, the San Francisco 49ers have an outside shot of winning the division of the NFC West as well. This has been a fun year, right? A real fun year. It genuinely has. I just don't see who the best team in the NFL is right now. And I'd love for any one of them, or in the NFL. I know I just said the NFC. I don't see who the best team in the NFL is. But that's what makes it fun. At least for me. That's what makes it fun. I've had a ton of fun watching this season. I love the parity that we're getting. Obviously, the Dallas Cowboys are a huge disappointment for me personally as a Dallas Cowboys fan. Maybe they become the first team in the history of the NFL to go 8-1. Got to beat those New York Giants this weekend. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys do it. Then, of course, I can also see a scenario where the Dallas Cowboys shit the bed and don't be the first team to go 8-1. There's always that possibility. Two games of legitimate note this weekend. These teams have to win, and they get in. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. Great for scheduling for them. No one would have seen that be the case towards the end of the season. Maybe, I can't even say maybe, right? I think most people thought that Cincinnati would be better than Pittsburgh. Whenever Aaron Rodgers got signed by the Steelers, everyone kind of thought that it was going to be one of those like, oh, they're just not good enough to do any of the things that we need them to do. Ashley Candelaria saying, I agree, it's been fun to watch. I mean, you're also an Eagles fan, so your team is in the playoffs. You don't get to you don't get to watch football and hate it the way that I do. 7th place fantasy football teams on 3 fantasy football rosters. God, 3 out of my 4 leagues, I got the 7th place team. What an absolute dumpster fire of a fantasy football GM am I. Absolutely hate it. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I really am. I don't have a cheeky way of doing it right now. Maybe with the comments. Ashley saying, yeah, it's been ugly, LOL. I got 5th place. Tommy, I haven't heard from you, my guy. How has your fantasy football team fared over the last couple of weeks? Last I checked, you still had a chance. There was still a chance. Did you go all the way, or did you just get just the tip?
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just the Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip? Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. myhappynuts.com. Check them out as soon as you possibly can. Guys, it's that time of year. You got to take care of yourselves, especially with New Year's right around the corner. It reminds me of one thing and one thing only. One of my favorite things that I got to, I guess I don't say get to participate in, but I got to witness, right? Like New Year's Eve, I am a huge New Year's person. I just love everything that New Year's symbolizes and does all that stuff. Now, I'm not one of those nerds that's going to go out there and be like, oh, I've got to make resolutions or anything like that. But every time I think about this time of year, it reminds me of one of the coolest things I went to go out there for. This is in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they do the acorn drop, right? Just like the ball drop they have in New York City. I think back in the day here in El Paso, we had a star drop, something like that. But the acorn drop that they had in Raleigh, North Carolina, downtown Raleigh, North Carolina, I was a big fan. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I was happy watching that nut drop. So if you want your nuts to be as happy as I was on that New Year's Eve, you got to go to www.myhappynuts.com, use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout, and save on all your male grooming needs. We have the Big Wood body wash. They've also got the Happy Nuts whole body deodorant. Take care of yourself from your pits to your tip. www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout, all one word, and save on all of your male grooming needs. Tommy letting us know that he got second place in 3 of the leagues, fourth in the other 3, and third in 2, or fourth in another, third in 2 more, and some idiot scheduled the championship in week 17 and 18. Wow. And he's down 35 points going into week 18. Shake my head. He was in 7 total leagues. That, my friend, is absolutely insane. I had a hard time keeping up with 4 leagues. I think next year I'm just going to do 3. 3 is my max. I'm going to have to find one of the dynasty leagues that I've been in. I'm going to have to find a way to get out of it. I think 3 is my sweet spot. I'm able to keep up. And like, I hate the fact that like I have, 4 or 3 leagues on Sleeper, 1 in Yahoo. And back in the day, it was like Sleeper, Yahoo, ESPN, CBS. Like they were all over the place. If we can get that 4th league on Sleeper, I'll be happy. But my guy loves it being on Yahoo. So chances are it's not going to happen that way. Nonetheless, I am a happy man. As most of you know, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you're new to the show, welcome. First off, welcome. Thank you. I appreciate you being a part of it. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Whatever it is you got to do, I appreciate the love and the support. Most of you know I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. And some of the news that came out today was that the Dallas Cowboys released veteran cornerback Trayvon Diggs. According to an article on ESPN right now, headlined by Todd Archer, it says, quote, the Dallas Cowboys have released 2-time Pro Bowl cornerback Trayvon Diggs with 1 game left to play. Diggs, who is 27 years old, will go through waivers and will be a free agent if he isn't claimed. The Cowboys closed the season Sunday against the New York Giants. Apparently, there was issues with Trayvon Diggs and the Dallas Cowboys. If you were watching any of the broadcasts, you got to hear how that was a conversation that was out there the whole time. Like, oh my God, you know that Trayvon Diggs is actually mad at Jerry Jones, and Jerry Jones said this about Trayvon Diggs. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense, right? And when I first saw it, I was upset. I was like, man, you just gave this dude a 5-year, $97 million contract. What the hell are we doing? I was angry. I was not a happy guy. My nuts were not happy. And then I thought about it. Well, it's going to save the Dallas Cowboys money in the salary cap over the next couple of years. So then that means the Dallas Cowboys will have more of an ability to sign someone like, I don't know, George Pickens, and keep the offense going the way that the offense should have been going for the Dallas Cowboys. Tommy, going back to the talk that we were having on fantasy football, saying it sucks. A lot of my players are not going to play in week 18. Shake my damn head. I'm going to have to hit the waiver wire hard this week. Who the hell schedules championship rounds in weeks 17 and 18? Tommy also going on to say it was $14 million saved. $14 million saved by the Dallas Cowboys by releasing Trayvon Diggs in the 2026 season. I'm good with it. I'm happy with it. I like it now, right? I was upset at first, but Trayvon hasn't been the same since his amazing breakout season in 2022. I want to say it was when he led the NFL in interceptions. Hasn't been the same guy. And even though he led the NFL in interceptions, he still also led the NFL in giving up big plays over the top, which has been an issue for the Dallas Cowboys defense this year. You always knew if it was 3rd and long, the Dallas Cowboys were going to find a way to give up that 3rd and long. If it was 4th and long, they were going to find a way to give up that 4th and long because you couldn't trust the cornerback situation. So if you have the ability to just move on from Trayvon Diggs and you can save money on the salary cap now, why wouldn't you? Right? Like why wouldn't you do that? The question is, okay, what is Dallas going to be able to do? Well, like what is Dallas going to be able to do in the draft and free agency to try to shore up? Because the biggest issue with the Dallas Cowboys wasn't the run game. It was that secondary. Dallas needs to focus in on that secondary. Maybe a little help on the offensive line. You guys know me. I love big, beefy men slapping meat with other big, beefy men. But to me, what are you going to do if you're the Dallas Cowboys to help out that secondary? Tommy's saying Trayvon Diggs sucks. I'm giving away my Diggs jersey if anybody wants them. Jerseys. Wow. Multiple Trayvon Diggs jerseys. I like it. Oh, that's what I did on Instagram. I see it now. Oh, well, that'll be something I fix later. Tommy going on to say, ever since they traded away his girlfriend, Micah Parsons, to Green Bay, Trayvon Diggs has been acting like a little like a little bitch. That's the way that Trayvon Diggs has been acting, according to Tommy Carranza. I can see it. Like you saw, if you saw any of the Cowboys stuff at the beginning of the season, you kind of saw this, the relationship betwixt the two. And it was like, man, okay, like they're really close. If Micah gets traded, Trayvon is probably not going to be happy. But it gives Trayvon Diggs now the ability to sign with a contending team. I personally would like to see him go with our second favorite team on this show. So if you've watched this show, if you've tuned in even for 1 second on this show, your second favorite team in the NFL is the Jacksonville Jaguars. End of discussion. Don't care if you're a Titans fan, a Texans fan, or a Colts fan. By de facto, your second favorite team is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'd like to see Trayvon Diggs go there. Help shore up that defense a little bit. They've got a great defense in Jacksonville. Maybe it helps them get them over the top, and they're able to do a little more, make a deeper run in the playoffs. But I don't know what the market is going to look like for Trayvon Diggs because, like I said, since the injury, since that 2022 season where he led the NFL in interceptions, and hell, it might have been 2021. I got to actually look into this. He's not really played a whole bunch, right? Like he's missed a bunch of games. He's had injuries from time to time. Over the last 3 seasons, he's played in 21 games. That's basically 7 games. 7 games a year that you're getting Trayvon Diggs. Tommy's saying he'll just make the defense even worse for our beloved Jacksonville Jaguars. He probably would. Now that I'm thinking about it. Go to Philadelphia. Go to Philadelphia. Go over there. Make that defense worse. Make me happy by making that defense worse. Ashley wouldn't like that, though. I got a weird balance of people I got to make happy on this show. Someone will sign him to the practice squad, and by someone, I mean Green Bay. I'm with you. I feel like Green Bay has to be the leader in the clubhouse right now. But if you're the Bears, to keep him out of Green Bay, wouldn't you do that, right? Like, just sign him off of waivers? I feel like that would be the smart thing to do if you're the Bears. Keep him out of Green Bay. Sign him to the practice squad. Do your thing. Have yourself a good old time. I don't know. I feel like this season, and I came into the season as a Dallas Cowboys fan, understanding what this team was going to be. I think I said best case scenario, they would be 10-7. Worst case scenario, they'd be 8-9. Here we are staring down the barrel of an 8-1 season. So, guess I was kind of right. But it's still one of those like weird disappointments that I have with the Dallas Cowboys, where it's like, man, I just wish they didn't waste this season from Dak Prescott, because this was a great season from Dak Prescott. Our guy, the Crooked Commish, Bears fan extraordinaire, just missed our guy Jonathan Hood from ESPN 1000. If y'all want to support my dude Jonathan Hood, check out the ESPN app, ESPN Chicago. He is on in the mornings at ESPN Chicago. Go check him out, ESPN Chicago, ESPN 1000 Chicago. Crooked Commish, you better be listening to that show. As a Bears fan, you just got to. Tommy Canazzo saying that Trayvon Diggs will clear all the waivers. He will clear all the waivers. Let's see. Oh, I guess that's the reason why I didn't finish reading this right here. If a team were to claim Trayvon Diggs off of waivers, it would be on the hook for $472,000. He is due his base salary for Week 18 plus $58,823 if he is active this week. According to ESPN's Phil Yates, Diggs has no guaranteed money on his deal from the Dallas Cowboys beyond this season. That line right there, no more guaranteed money from the Dallas Cowboys this season or following this season. That's what makes your happy ass expendable as shit. So he is gone. He gone. You don't have to worry about anything for him now with the Dallas Cowboys. It's again, it's going to be interesting to see where Trayvon Diggs goes, if he goes anywhere. I don't see a team right now that would place a flyer on him, because he wouldn't be like, if you have issues in your secondary this late into the season, you more than likely aren't a playoff contending team. Maybe you sign him for depth, get him as a free agent, sign him for depth for whatever. Maybe that's what you do. But I can also see a scenario here where Trayvon Diggs doesn't make it to a team at all. He's not on any roster following being released by the Dallas Cowboys. And then you got the problems in the Diggs family continuing, as Trayvon has his issue with the Dallas Cowboys. And then his brother, Stephon, facing strangulation and assault charges. According to ESPN's Mike Reese, New England Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs is facing a felony charge of strangulation and a misdemeanor a misdemeanor charge of assault from an alleged incident on December 2nd. A motion hearing took place on Tuesday morning. Such a wild story. I'm getting choked up. The Crooked Commission saying Trayvon Diggs looks to be damaged goods. Wow. That is a lot. Tommy Cananza saying, did he strangle Cardi B? No. Allegedly, what I heard is that here it is. According to a police report, a woman went to the police on December 16th and shared that she was working as a private chef on the date of the incident in question when Diggs entered her unlocked bedroom and allegedly smacked her across the face after they had discussed money that was owed to her. According to police, she said that she attempted to push Diggs away when he allegedly tried to choke her with his elbow around her neck and later threw her onto the bed and said, "Lies," when she said that she had not been paid. Galaxy brain on the jokes, Tommy. I'm glad you got it. I am glad you got it. Gotta get a little bit of my drink for that. Gotta get a little bit. In case you're wondering, vodka, Malibu, pineapple juice, orange juice, and 7-Up. Learned that recipe from a priest at La Purísima in Socorro, at the Socorro Mission. I don't know. Well, I think that was common knowledge for everybody that went to the Socorro mission, as I did for an extended period of time. We all know Father Joe. Shout out to Father Joe. Gave everybody that recipe. The Jesus juice. Anyway, I got to get back on track here. Sorry. I derailed myself with my own dumbass joke. If you're facing felony charges and you've had the incident at the beginning of the season, can Trayvon Diggs play, or can Stephon Diggs play for the New England Patriots anymore? Right? Like, you're the franchise. Like, if it was any other franchise, maybe. But you're the franchise that had Aaron Hernandez. And granted, this isn't Aaron Hernandez, but come on, right? It's got to be done this season. Like, he cannot play anymore, which really sucks for the Patriots because they were having an amazing season. I like Drake May. I feel like they'd be okay without him, but not as dynamic. And you don't want that entering into the playoffs. So it feels like Stephon Diggs, Jesus Christ, I'm getting their names mixed up. But it feels like Stephon Diggs might have played his last game this season, at least, for the New England Patriots as they head into the playoffs with expectations of, man, maybe we can do some real legitimate damage here. Or what happened? Like, what if the New England Patriots release him and he gets signed by, like, I don't know, let's say Pittsburgh or somebody like that. If you're New England, you don't just outright release him. I know I spoke to a few New England Patriots fans that I know, and they were like, nope, you got to flat out release him. He's got to be gone off the roster. Well, you release him, he clears waivers, he gets signed by, like, the Broncos, the Jags, the Steelers, just like any team in the AFC. Well, now you're stacking the deck against yourself, right? At least the Cowboys releasing Trayvon Diggs, they're not in the playoffs. They got nothing else to play for. The Crooked Commission saying that sounds like a Tech 9 drink. Tommy Collins is saying, you can in Dallas. Jerry don't care. Remember Greg Hardy? Of course I remember Greg Hardy. But it wasn't, like, again, it wasn't at the level that Aaron Hernandez was. Right? Like, that's going to be the qualifier here. If the New England Patriots didn't have the history of, like, we got to protect Aaron Hernandez as he's about to go on trial for murder, then maybe, just maybe, they can deal with this, they can move on, they can do their thing, right? But because it's the New England Patriots and they did go that route with Aaron Hernandez, it feels like they've got to be able to, like, just take a step back. You're not playing anymore. Or we'll just leave you on the roster, unpaid suspension or whatever. Like, they can't pay the guy. I think that would be the thing, right? Like, just wait till the playoffs start. That's what Tommy Canazza is saying here. I believe you can't sign with a playoff team if you're on a roster after the last game. I've got to think about that one, though. I'm trying to remember what happened last year. The wide receiver. He went to, I want to say he was in Pittsburgh, Houston, Dallas, and then played a playoff game with the Ravens last year. And I cannot for the life of me think of his name. This is where I wish, like, I had producers on the show. I gotta increase my budget, get producers. This is going to bother me now. I got to look this up. Tommy's saying, yeah, that's why Dallas released Diggs today, so that way he can be on a playoff roster. No, this isn't going to help me out. Somebody help. When I see his name, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I definitely remember him. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's see. We're going to get wide receivers. Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson. That's who I was thinking about last year. Deontay Johnson. And I had it wrong. I guess I got used to him being in Pittsburgh. It was Carolina, Baltimore, Houston. Or the teams that he was with. Deontay Johnson. I could have swore he was in Dallas last year. Brandon Cooks. Our guy Tommy Cananza bringing up Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks being in Buffalo looked pretty good. It's just, again, I don't trust Buffalo. I think Buffalo's a severely overrated team. We'll see how it goes with the Buffalo Bills. Maybe that's what you do, right? If you're New England, you keep him to the end of the season, release him at the end of the regular season with Stephon Diggs, if more information comes out of this. But it's such a bad look for this franchise to have something like this lingering over your head. Obviously, again, not to the extent of murder like it was with Aaron Hernandez, but it's still just a really bad look. Just a super bad look. And then you have to remember that there was the picture of Stephon Diggs at the beginning of the season with that pink powdery substance. Destiny saying that drink is delicious. It 100% is. I was going to say something. I need to. Oh God, I'm glad that as I've gotten older, I've gotten the ability to censor myself a little bit, because that would have been funny, but it also would have been such an inside joke. And then I would have to feel obligated to explain it. Tommy's saying screwdrivers on a Tuesday, Mike? LOL. Not screwdrivers. Like I said, got this drink from Father Joe. Shout out from La Purísima. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what's helping me get through this hour of show today. Got to have some alcohol in my system, Tommy. You know how it is. Did we already play Just the Tip? Of course we did. Okay. So that's the news that was going on in the NFL. I just thought it was hilarious that you had two brothers going through these weird things on the same day. And it just felt like the Dallas Cowboys saw the news that happened to Stephon Diggs, and they're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and pull the trigger on this. Let's not drag it out anymore. Let's go ahead and do it. Now we release Trayvon Diggs, and the brothers and their family can have themselves the worst Tuesday in the history of the Diggs family, in recent memory at least. Or did they both tear an ACL? No, they didn't. I think they tore ACLs in separate seasons. There we go. Remember, everybody, that we are going to be live tomorrow out at the Sun Bowl. Obviously, you can't broadcast the game, but we're going to be live out at the Sun Bowl, having ourselves a good old time as Duke is taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils, the Blue Devils versus the Sun Devils, and what's going to be an awesome game. I really think it's going to be an awesome game. This is a matchup, a rematch from 11 years ago when Duke lost to Arizona State 36-31. Clearly, none of the players that are on the teams were around at that point in time, but it's still going to be an absolutely fun game. I hope to see y'all out there. I always love seeing the way the city of El Paso supports our beloved Sun Bowl game. You can't come out to the game. Make sure you're watching on CBS. Maybe you'll see me down the sidelines. Maybe I get hit in the head with a football from a kicker, just like Brandon Aubrey did this past weekend to the poor camera guy against the Washington Commanders. Maybe that happens to me. Who knows? All kinds of wild things can happen. But the only way you'll find out is if you tune in. All right, everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. We will be back, next week. Only 2 shows today. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on the live that we do while we're out at the Sun Bowl. We'll see you all then. Have a great day, everybody.